We are back into the action here, folks, on the hottest show on the streets, number one forum for Crimson Tide football news in my own words with yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. If you haven't done so, you better go get your four-finger bling necklace right now, courtesy of WeOwnTheFourthQuarter.com. That's WeOwnTheFourthQuarter.com, showing that support for Alabama football as it does own the fourth quarter. Get you that four-finger bling necklace from WeOwnTheFourthQuarter.com. Link will be found in the description. Also, check out tdaware.com. Let us be your one-stop shop for all purchases. We got your t-shirts, your hoodies right here, whether it's the I Love Here in Touchdown Alabama shirt, the Let Them Play shirts, the We Want Football shirts, hoodies galore. Check us out right now, tdaware.com, supporting Nick Saban, the Crimson Tide, the student athletes, and us here at Touchdown Alabama Magazine. That link will be found in the description as well. But we get into our final topic of conversation here. Alabama's run defense, this thing has got to improve this week. And as I mentioned in the previous segment, the difference between Ole Miss and Georgia stylistically is Ole Miss was more so go, 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 run a bunch of plays, have tempo, get to the edge, not allowing your defense to switch the personnel or have different groupings on the field. That was Ole Miss. Versus Georgia, it's more so of a true pro-style offense. You have more personnel groupings on the field with tight ends. It's more so the quarterback taking the ball from under center, and I have a power running game, build off of that with play action, so that fits more into what Alabama likes to do in terms of combating that defensively. Now, of the things that need to be cleaned up from Alabama's matchup from Ole Miss, there's a few things here, but of the things, the one major thing is Alabama's run defense. There is a direct correlation between Alabama and national championships, and that direct correlation is the run defense. Typically, Nick Saban in this group takes pride in making opposition one-dimensional, not allowing you to be balanced, not allowing you to run the football, keeping you kind of off key or off kilter, so to speak there. And, in years past, you were not able to run on the Crimson Tide. And in the national championship seasons where Alabama was able to, keep opposing teams on average under or less than 100 yards rushing per game for a season, Alabama would end that campaign with a national championship more times than not. Only 2 times this has happened where it did not win a championship, but that was due to different circumstances. Now, as of right now, with this group on screen of Christian Barmore, DJ Dale, Brian Ray, Dylan Moses, and Christian Harris, Alabama giving up 151 yards rushing per game through 3 matchups. That's way too much. Giving up 151 yards per game rushing. That's not going to get it done. That's not going to cut it when you talk about Alabama football trying to win a national championship here. So when you look at this, when you look at this run defense under Nick Saban since 2008 here, 2008, Alabama gave up 74.1 yards rushing per game. 2009, it gave up 79.4 yards rushing. That was a BCS championship team. 2010, it gave up 110.2 yards rushing, no championship. 2011, it gave up 72.2 yards rushing per game. That was a BCS title team. 2012, it gave up 76.4 yards rushing per game. That was a championship team. 2013 and 2014, it gave up over 100 yards rushing per game. No championship in neither season. 2015, it gave up 75.7 yards rushing per game. That was a championship team. 2016, it gave up 69 yards rushing per game. 2017, it gave up 95 yards rushing per game. That was a college football playoff national championship team along with 2015. And then 2018 and 2019, Alabama giving up over 120 yards rushing per game. No championship in neither season. So you see what it is right here. More times than not, when Alabama's run defense, stingy, physical, forcing you to be one-dimensional, not allowing you to run on it, giving up less than 100 yards per game on average for a season, a national championship comes out of it. When it doesn't do that, it does not get a national championship. Now, The only reason why the 2008 team that gave up 74.1 yards rushing per game did not win a title was because it ran up on a talented, dominant Florida team in the 2008 SEC championship game, coached by Urban Meyer. Quarterback was Tim Tebow. And me personally, I felt like Alabama had more talent than Florida on that team. It's just that the belief wasn't there. The belief that we could really beat Florida, the belief to beat Florida was not there at that time. And on top of that, this was a Florida team that lost to Ole Miss in 2008 with a quarterback named Jevon Sneed, and ain't no way in the world Florida should have lost that game. But 2008 Alabama, great run defense. It was just the belief to beat Florida was not there. When you look at 2016, where it gave up 69 yards rushing per game, did not win a national championship, and this was the best defense of the Nick Saban era and arguably the best group in Alabama football history, especially when you look at the production this group had. 54 sacks, most of the Saban era. 118 tackles for loss, most in the Saban era. 16 interceptions, 8 fumble recoveries, 11 defensive touchdowns. I mean, that group had stats galore. When you look at the production that team had, when you look at the characters and the personalities that were on that team should have a national championship, should have had one, but unfortunately did not, due to injuries to Eddie Jackson at safety, injuries to Sean Deion Hamilton at linebacker. And for a lot of you as Tide fans, you think if we would have had Eddie Pick Six Jackson, we would have Bojack out there, that would have been a national championship because of how important Jackson was. If we would have had Sean Deion out there, that would have been a title because Sean Deion's smart, savvy, intelligent, very, very instinctive, and a guy that was having a dominant season before he tore his knee in the SEC championship game versus the Florida Gators. So if not for the injuries, could have went way different. But on top of that, you have a debacle between Lane Kiffin and Nick Saban where the two couldn't see eye to eye, and Saban kicked Kiffin to the curb, and that really hurt Jalen Hurts because as a freshman, his main offensive mind was not on the field, and that caused a lot of struggle. And then on top of that, you had just a transcendent quarterback in Deshaun Watson where the Clemson Tigers are concerned. So it took circumstances for those two defenses, 2008 and 2016, not to win a championship. But more times than not, when Alabama's run defense has been locked in, this is a national championship group. So this year's unit got to get those numbers down in terms of stopping the run if it wants to compete and go after a national championship. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, you want the best in news, notes, information, and coverage on your Crimson Tide. It's very simple and easy to do. You access this by getting the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app. You can download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you've got the Android phone. For your audio listening needs, we got you covered here. iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio. We got you covered. If the good and gracious Lord sees fit, I shall return on Friday, continuing the conversation that is Tide football. Also, keep in mind now, continue, get that 4-finger bling necklace. If you haven't gotten it yet, get you that 4-finger bling necklace courtesy of We Own the4thquarter.com, showing that support there for Alabama football as it owns the fourth quarter. That link will be found in the description. Also, you can purchase individual copies of Touchdown Alabama Magazine, have those sent to your door. That link will be in the description as well. But husbands love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children, school week, get that work done. Still do things, though, legitimately now to not be bored. Get you those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. Protect yourself, protect the loved ones around you. Until next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen M. Smith, and this has been In My Own Words. Thank you for watching Touchdown Alabama Magazine's YouTube channel. To continue to get the best in Alabama football content, subscribe here. and turn on your notifications to stay connected with the hottest shows covering your Crimson Tide.